71. I slept really well last night. It helped that the temperature, I believe, was about 55 degrees. But I also slept with my new sleeping bag, which is a 50-degree bag. And I think that I did wake up a couple times throughout the night. But if I did, it was a very, like, I went back to sleep right away because it kind of felt like I slept through the whole night. I do kind of remember tossing and turning a little bit. But, yeah, I didn't have to, put on my sleeping bag and then take it off and then put it on and take it off again. So that was awesome. And when you first look at that sleeping bag and like pick it up and feel it, your first thought is, this is supposed to keep me warm. But I'm telling you, I had that sleeping bag on top of me and I definitely felt the warmth. So it was crazy. But yeah, so I slept pretty well. Woke up at 6:30 and it is now 7:18. So I'm getting a little faster at packing up, which that actually, stuffing that sleeping bag into the sleeping bag sack, or the stuff sack, was a lot easier than my 15-degree, which makes sense because this one is thinner, But there's some squirrels fighting. Anyway, so yeah, slept pretty well. And right now I'm headed 10 miles to Middle Creek Campground, where apparently they sell like hamburgers and biscuits and gravy and just different kinds of stuff. So planning on getting there for lunch, and then after that we're kind of like waiting out the heat of the day and then getting back on the trail and going about 9 more miles to a shelter. But yeah, so first things first, 10 miles to the campground. Oh, cute. These people up here are cheering for me. You hear that? I'm just kidding. There's an Iron Man going on right now. Man, all this cheering for us?
Yeah,
I'm not sure. I almost don't want to leave here. You got the music and lots of people cheering. What a good time.
nice job. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, how fun was that? Good thing I filled up. Dang. Apparently there's no water from here until that Middle Creek campground, which is where I'm headed to for lunch. So I'm glad I got 2 bottles full.
Thank you guys.
So on the way to the campground, I ran into some trail magic. We have Bingo and Heather. They grilled up a grilled cheese sandwich with ham and a tomato, and I got some potato chips, and they had a hard cider, a pineapple cider, in their cooler. So that was exciting. yeah, usually a lot of times it's beer and soda, and they have that too. But this time a cider, so I get to have one. I'm super excited about it.
I think the closest I'm ever going to get to home is about 6 hours.
And it's delicious. So after the 1.2 mile walk, we made it to the Middle Creek campground. We were hoping to get a shuttle, but when I called, the phone call didn't go through and the other two people didn't have service. So we just walked the 1.2 miles down the road, which, let me tell you, that was a long 1.2 miles. But hopefully we will get a shuttle back to the trailhead when we're done hanging out here. When I was at that Trail Magic, the girl gave me a wild berry hard cider to go, so I've been sipping on that. It's not really my favorite. When I was there, I had the pineapple kind, and it was really good, but this one, it's not the best, but it's okay. I'm still grateful for it. So it looks like over there is probably the pool with like a blow up bouncy house thing that you can play on. If we want to, we can play in their pool and also have a shower for $5, but I don't know, I'm not really planning on doing that unless the other two people want to. If they want to, then yeah, I'd be fine with doing that. I know we're just kind of planning on hanging out here for a little bit. They sell food, and we also do have to resupply for like a day, so I really need to see what food I have left in my bag or in my canister before I go in and buy some stuff. But then we'll get back to the trail today, and the plan is to hike 9 more miles to a shelter. So yeah, just right now, just relaxing, enjoying a beautiful Sunday. This is a really pretty section. Look at that. So it is 7 o'clock at night, and I have about a little under 5 miles to get to the shelter. And I got to the one road heading to the campground, and I came upon some Trail Magic. So got some hard cider, and then the lady asked me if I wanted to take a can to go, so I said yes. And then we walked 1.2 miles to the campground, where I ended up talking on the phone with my husband for a little bit, and then ended up taking like a 2-hour nap. And when I woke up, they were all making fun of me because apparently I snore when I sleep, and they said I was just out cold. So it felt good. It was a good Sunday afternoon nap. But then I had a hamburger and french fries and a Three Musketeers bar. We got a shuttle back to the trail and hiked up a steep hill, so I fully regretted eating that. But I feel better now. I guess I'm 3.5 miles in. Got some water, stopped at a different shelter for a little bit, very briefly, and then got back on the trail. And once I get to the campsite, I'll just have to brush my teeth, set up my tent, and go to bed. Whew. It's definitely tiring though. Alright, it is 9 o'clock, and I am just about at the shelter. Just filtered some water, and I gotta find a tent spot. Hey.
I was just gonna see if we could squeeze 2 tents down there. Otherwise, they said there's a couple up top.
Yeah, like at the very top, I think. Like at the tent house, like 3 up top.
Okay.
And where they are not, people have found food bags.
I found what?
There's food bags in
Food
a couple of
bags.
flat spots. Yeah.
Food bags?
Yeah.
It is the end of day 71. I hiked 18.6 miles today, and I am exhausted. I am worn out. it was cool to take a long break in the middle of the day and actually take a nap. It was kind of nice having a Sunday afternoon nap. But I don't really like getting into camp at 9 o'clock and then having to set up my tent. Luckily, I had already eaten dinner at that campsite, or the campground, so I didn't have to cook food or anything, but I'm just very tired. So tomorrow's going to be tough because the plan is to hike 20 miles to get into Glasgow. We've already reserved bunks at Stanimals Hostel. So, I mean, I could cancel it, but I don't know, it'll be good. It'll be good to push myself, but I'm definitely tired. So, I'm gonna get to bed, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Good night.